Hey, what up, everyone? I apologize that we are a little bit late today because um, it seems like Restream has some updates and things has things are changing and then I couldn't get the settings right. So we are a little bit late, but hey everyone, thanks for being here today on Decisive Learnings. I'm Henry Ho, and I'm an entrepreneur, digital marketer, and most importantly, a software enthusiast. I can see some people are in the chat already. Let me just quickly share the link. If you like to join the chat, right? Just give me a second and let me send it into Facebook for you guys to join the chat, right? So Felipe, thanks for joining us. Um, right, so you can click on this link to join the chat with us, right? So today I have Ogbonnaya. He's the founder of Tapdesk. And Tapdesk, I have actually reviewed it on my channel already. It's a all-in-one CRM for small and medium-sized businesses to find leads and close them quickly. It's not just a like a CRM where you collect the contacts and have a like a sales pipeline and that's it, or maybe just some email marketing and that's it. But it does more than that. It even comes with like a lead database, which I personally tried, and I find that the information in there seems to be very accurate as well. And it's like, if you are a salesperson, you just need to go in there, search for the industry that you're in, and just start reaching out to the leads. And then you and all that's all you need to do, right? Because it's all in one. um and you can just sit at your desk and start calling people up or sending them emails, and you can start closing sales and making money, right? So I am so glad to have Ogbonnaya here to share a lot more about Tapdesk with us, because I'm sure that even with my review video, I probably would have missed out some stuff that would help you to see the value of Tapdesk. So Ogbonnaya, let me bring you on. Hey, how is it going?
Hey, pretty good. How are you?
Awesome, right? We've got quite a few people on the stream watching, in fact, right? So if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below. I'll try and bring in the questions towards the end of the webinar itself, right? So, Ogbonnaya, tell us about yourself. Where you're from, and how did you came about starting Tapdesk?
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Henry. Hello, everyone. I'm Ogbonnaya. I'm originally from Nigeria, but like at the moment, I'm currently living in Austin, Texas. Very beautiful city, sunny out through the year, except during the winters, of course. Um, I actually started Tapdesk with one of my co-founders. We started a company together. His name is Cecil. We're actually like working for like a company, and we can like they kind of like consulted from us because we were a software engineering company at the beginning, and they kind of consulted, hey, can you guys find a CRM for our company? Because they had like this really pretty bad CRM at the beginning. So what we went on to like the whole like journey of like finding a new CRM for them and recommending something, and we're just walking through that. And then what we saw is like there was no kind of like a pretty good CRM for small sized businesses and medium sized businesses as well. We decided to build one for them, and then once we were doing that, we kind of realized this is something that like many businesses out there would want to use. So we decided to like go ahead and create like a full fledged CRM all in one platform for small businesses to help them manage their customers and find new ones, nurture them, and close deal faster. So that's like the whole quick intro of how we started Tapdesk.
Awesome. Because I have before Tap Test, I have tried a couple of other cool outreach or CRM tools as well, and they do come. Some of them come with the lead database as well, but it doesn't seem like they are severely lacking in information, or it's not updated or accurate at all. So I was just I'm not sure if this is an industry secret or anything like that, but I would like to ask, how did you build the database that you have?
So it's pretty there are two ways you can go about with this kind of stuff. The easy route is mostly like you can like maybe like get a database somewhere or like source up information once in a while and then build a database upon that. That's the easy route. That's like most of the tools out there. That's what they're using. We wanted to create ours, so we don't want to go the easy route. We wanted to like create like a lead database that actually is real time. The data you get today, if the customer or like the business you're searching for changes the next day, we want to show you the refreshed result, not something from like 2 years back or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's a different approach, which is real-time search, rather than having like a database sitting there with like stale data. We need to have like a real-time search. So we typically do a kind of like a mix of like what Google does and like big data company, which is like send out crawlers out there to go find information and kind of like give it to you real time. So what we do is like we index pages similar to how Google does indexing. The only difference is that Google indexes all the pages. We only
Yep.
index that has information that we need. So if you find like an article that or like a kind of web page that doesn't have any information in it, we don't need to keep it or index. We just throw it out. But we're also always aware of those pages because an information coming to them the next day. So, but like we don't index everything on the internet, but we index things that have like information about companies, and then we scan through them using machine learning to actually like see what kind of information are like good information and pick out those, and then put them together so that when you search, we immediately show you what you're searching for. And that's one cool thing about Tapdesk search, because we have customers who are like, oh, I searched for this stuff yesterday. I didn't see many results, but then I searched for it today. It was like so many results. And that's our real time stuff we're talking about. Because when you search for something today, you're actually telling the AI, oh, I'm looking for something, but you don't have it. So what it does from that moment on is that it starts looking for something like that. And then next time you come in and search, you're going to see like a whole bunch of results on that particular topic.
Awesome. So, your crawler is still searching for new pages as of now. While at the same time, do you mind sharing with us, right? How many pages you are already crawling right now? That is indexed in your service, and then how often does your crawler actually go and crawl all the pages that are indexed in your service right now?
So we have the crawlers like running 24/7. They never sleep. Even when someone is not searching,
Yep.
they're always like hard at work. I think at some point we had like up to like 140 million pages already like crawled. And it just repeat crawl on all those looking for like new or refreshed information in them. So it's a very huge data set, and we partner with this company that actually is like it's kind of like an open source company that can like like preps data already. So with our own crawlers and the data dump that they have every month, we actually go and pass both ends of the whole data set, and we're able to like actually like keep bringing new data sets. So like every single day, I think we crawl about like 10,000 pages every single day, which includes both like new crawls and like recrawls across the board. But we're always like having web crawlers like working 24/7. And as we grow as a company in terms of like revenue and like investments, we're always increasing the like factor of crawls, which doubles like the amount of pages like we can crawl. Because at the beginning, like a year or 2 years ago, we're crawling like 500 pages a day to like 1,000 pages a day, but now we're doing like 10,000 and above.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the most impressed by two things about Tapdesk. Number one is the interface, right? It's beautiful looking, and I think feature wise, the core of Tapdesk is everything is in there that you need. You have your emails, you got your calendar integration, you got your sales pipeline and everything. And of course, the biggest selling point I would say is your lead database. Um, because compared to others that I've tried, I don't want to name names, but they are really severely lacking in information. Even though they would have some like lead enrichment features or whatever, but it just lacks a lot of data to even use it properly, I would say.
Yeah.
And it wastes a lot of time. You could probably do like a Google search and get better results than what's in the database, right? So I only have of course today it's more about you showing us the software itself, but I don't see any API the last time that I reviewed it. I don't see any
Mhm.
API when I tested out the tap test, right? So is there any plans to add that?
Yep. We're actually like hard at work at getting an API. One thing is like we had API, but it was for enterprise level. So what we're doing now is actually like making it more public because like with enterprise customers, we can actually like control how they use the API. But to make it available to our customers, we need to make it very open, which requires us to like actually like harden a lot of parts of the API, including like authentication and all that. So that's what we're working on. And once we like finalize everything on that, we're going to publish our API page for developers, and anyone can um, connect to Tapdesk with custom code that they have already. We plan to have our API out by the end of next month as well.
Awesome, awesome. I mean, with the API features, then we could automate some of these um, um, features, right?
Yep.
Some of these workflow that we are sending it out. So without further ado, right, Ogbonnaya, who would you like to share with us about Tapdesk?
Of course.
Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Let me know when you can see this.
Yep.
Uh,
We can see. Oops. Sorry, we lost your screen.
are you able to see it now?
Yep, we can.
Okay, awesome. So this is pretty much what you see at first glance when you get into Tapdesk. The dashboard is meant to be very straightforward. We just separated into like to give you more quick information. So here you have an overview of what's going on in your account, and then your next upcoming event. I don't have anyone coming up right now, so you would see it here. You're gonna see all your tasks, but those you're assigned to and like those you're assigned to other people are all going to show here. We actually like redesign our task interface, so it's very more robust now than it was before. So if you've tried Tapdesk before, you're gonna see it's a whole different design. You can view all your tasks, including like the past ones that you've completed over here. And you can also expand to like see details of those tasks, like see what deals are associated with, if it was assigned to someone, or the due date and the priorities and all that. Over here, you're gonna see your last search, and you can quickly like go back to it. This allows people who are like, when you start a search, like maybe you go home from work, if you come the next day, you can pick up from where you left off. All your reminders show up here, and you can also add new ones. So all your calendar reminders, all your task reminders, every single one of them is going to show up here. Typically, you see them look like this, and you can also like scroll through them and like find if a particular task, all your tasks, well, all your reminders are always going to show up here. And it connects across tab there. So that's to create with deadline, appointment that you have, your Google Calendar, every single thing that's connected here that has to do with events and has like a deadline or a reminder attached to them are all going to show up here. and also have some like quick tools here. So that's pretty much what the dashboard is all about, just to give you a quick glance at what's coming up next and what you're going to do next. The next feature we have here is the search feature, which is where the next thing begins, which is finding the next people that you're going to talk to as a business. Typically, when you don't have like a lead generation process, you can always get started with Tapdesk search. We have two kinds of search, the business search and the individual search. We also want a keyword search that we'll plan to like launch next year. But here, the business search is going to find businesses that match a particular criteria that you put in. And the individual search is going to search for people that match a particular criteria or job title that you put in. So typically, to do a search, you need like a search keyword, of course, and then you can pick a business category over here. We do have a bunch of business categories. In some cases, if you don't have a particular one that you're looking for that is in the category, you can just use all category, and it will do very well to actually like kind of find based on like your keyword what business category, or kind of like guess it, even if it doesn't have it, what matches better to it. So you can also filter your result by city, by state, and even by country. And I think we have all countries here represented. You can go ahead and select the country of your choice. Hard query allows you to pull contact information from that particular search. So we're talking about like the social links of that particular business, the phone numbers, the addresses, every single thing to like get in contact with this business is going to pull it up for you. So once you just do that, that's pretty much what very quick to set up, and you can just go ahead and click find out, and it gets to work and gets the result for you. Once you do a search, you're going to see your search history here, which allows you to go back in time to the search you've done before, kind of like take a look at it again, or kind of like go back and like do more work with them. So this is a sample of like what the results will look like when you do a search for like businesses. Pretty much doing the business, the address, the phone number, and the social links in most cases. If we have them under the website, the ratings, and also some quick actions you can do with search. Now, this is pretty the same thing for individual search. Except for individual search, you're going to want to put, because you're looking for people in this case, you're going to want to put the job title, company. It doesn't have to be an exact company. It could be just a business, or maybe like kind of like a kind of specific business you work for, or you're trying to target, or a particular kind of institution trying to target. We also have categories in here as well, pretty important. And we'll always filter by country in here. And for this, to actually have something called include and exclude, this allows you to actually like do more, a little bit more. Even though we don't have like the filter by city and state, you can use this include filters to actually include a particular city or include a particular state in that particular country, or exclude some ones. This becomes very important when you're trying to like do a broad search, right? For instance, if you search for like the VP of marketing in a particular industry. Now, it's going to fetch VPs of marketing across different industries. However, if I wanted to like make that result so fine that I want to find the VP of marketing in like startups, I'm going to come in here and put in a keyword called startups. That makes sure like those people it's finding that they work for a company that's considered a startup or something like that. Now, if I don't want the for Tapdesk to pull out VP of marketing in like maybe like health industry or like banking or something like that, I'm just going to go in here and put in exclude word banking, finance, and all that. And it's going to exclude people who actually are in this particular industry or have those keywords attached to them. So that's pretty much how individual search works. And again, you can see it's a sample result for like a search I did previously for realtors in Canada. Now, typically, which is kind of like what people consider a pro tip, is what I do is like you start off with like business search. The whole goal is like you want to reach people who are like in a particular business and like they're pretty much like the decision makers. So one good feature that Tapdesk has is something called Discover Decision Maker Search. And this allows you to transition from transition from a business search to an individual and find people who are like decision makers in those industry. So pretty much if I open this and kind of like select a few industries, so a few businesses here, I can click this button over here that says discover decision makers. And what that does is like it transforms into an individual search and finds like people who are like partners, owners, chief executive officers, top executive, like C-level executives in those particular businesses. Because these are the people who have like the power to actually make decisions to like do business with your business. So you want to get in contact with those decision makers, and we've added an easy way for you to like transition from like that business search and finding the core decision makers in those businesses. And of course, you have like so many other tools you can use, including like revealing the contact info, creating accounts from those businesses that you find, or adding them to your pipelines. We have the same options for like individual search too. And this is an example of a discover decision maker search I did previously for like these businesses here. And of course, it's showing like people who are like shareholders in those companies, partners in those companies, partners, managing partners. So people who have like senior vice president, who are like top level in those companies. And again, of course, you have those to like review contact information and like add selected people to contacts. You can also add them to contact group because it have two options, and you can also add them to pipelines as well. You can also export your results, of course, if you don't want to.
Sorry, Ogbonnaya, can I ask, what is the rating that there's the rating column, previously, right? What is the rating about?
So we actually use a combination of ratings. In most cases, it's like if your business has a rating across Yelp, BBB, or Trustpilot, and every other rating place, Google reviews, and all that, we kind of combine it to like come up with like a score for you for that particular business. In most cases,
So the rating is more like the reviews that they get.
yeah, pretty much the reviews that the business has across different review websites.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Now, you can export your lead, but if you want to manage it inside Tapdesk, there are many ways you can manage it. First, you can add them to pipelines, which allows you to organize your leads into your different sales cycle, or you can actually like add them to your contacts, whichever one you want to do, up to you how you manage your workspace. So typically, when you add people to like a pipeline, this is what our pipeline looks, and this is just like a quick pipeline. You can always create a pipeline to like look however you want it to create. You can also create templates for like making this pipeline, so you can just quickly like scaffold them if you want to. But you can add as many columns as you want. You can also like edit like the names of the columns if you wanted. You can share the pipeline with your teammates. This allows you to collaborate on a particular pipeline and a particular deal. When you share a pipeline, you can also like kind of like restrict how those people are able to like use the pipeline. If you want to restrict the access to just the user level, or restrict their like read access to the user level. This makes sure like when you share a pipeline, if you don't want people to like touch other people's deal in the pipeline, you just want them to like maybe just see it, but be able to just like create their own and work on their own, but see everyone's deal. Then you can just like put in the right advanced settings for it. If you want them to just see the deals and just create and work on their deals, you just need to like check these two boxes and you're good. You as the owner of the pipeline or the owner of the workspace is get to see everyone's deals, but all your salespeople on the team get to see their own deals without interfering with any other person's deal. But you, the owner, gets to see everything. So that's one way where we allow collaboration, but at the same time maintaining privacy across the board. So typically when you create a deal or when you add like a contact from search into a deal, it's going to show up in one of these boards, the one you selected, of course. And you can go ahead and like start working on that deal by adding things to them. So when you open a deal, you're going to see the deal detail view. And the deal detail view allows you to do a whole bunch of things. First of all, it has like core details about a particular deal. And this is where you put in like quick information about the deal, like very important information. Like if another salesperson picks up this deal, what is the first thing they need to like look at? If the person doesn't like being caught at like 5 p.m. or being caught between the certain time or like a particular day, that's a very important information that could make or break a deal, and that's what you put in the deal details page. And of course, you can see how much the deal is worth, the person of interest in the deal and the organization, what stage it's in, how long it's been in the pipeline, the deadline if it's available, and of course, like the commission for the salesperson who's working in this deal. If we have a way of setting commissions from admin tools for every single user in your workspace, they can be able to see how much they're going to earn if they close a particular deal. And over here, you're gonna
That,
see like
that's a very good feature to have.
yep, yep. The person of interest and participants allows you to like add people to like a particular deal. So what this does, even if you're not sharing this pipeline, but you want someone to collaborate on a particular deal, you can just add them as a participant, and they can join the deal and can be able to like maybe like help you out with it. In cases where like you're a sales manager and you have like people under your sales team and they need help closing a deal, they can use it as a participant in that deal, and you can be able to see what's going on in the deal and like make changes or like help email the customer or answer questions from the customer. Over here, so you take quick notes. When you're like in a call with a customer, you can quickly just like write in notes, and those notes always appear in the deal flow. The deal flow has all the details about this deal from when it started, all the changes that happened to it, all appear here. And again, we have task for deals. So you can just like click on task. And this task always, you can also assign it to someone else on the deal or anyone on your team. And you can monitor the task from here when it's completed. Of course, they can check the box if it's completed. And all your deals are always going to show up in your dashboard so you can have a quick access to them no matter where you create them. The next thing is sending emails to people. So when you send emails to your, this is one of the very important part of Tapdesk, because like most people communicate with the deals with their clients via email. So once you send the email to that person, it's always going to show up here. And when they reply to, you're going to get a notification, and it's also going to pop in here as well. So all your communication about this deal is all going to show up here in the deal flow. And this makes it very easy for people out in your team to be able to like see what's going on. Or if someone else picks up the conversation later, if you leave the company or something like that and are lost, like I don't know where this person is at, all your information is stored in one platform. And when they come in, they can say, okay, he messaged them about this is where it is, maybe introduce themselves and go from there. And this is where you also upload your files, maybe the contracts, the proposals, the invoices. You can upload those here by dragging them in here. So that's pretty much what your due page will look like across the board. And it's very easy. As people are going through your sales process, all you need to do is just quickly drag and drop over here to change the particular point they are in your deal process, or the particular stage they are in your deal process. And if you reach to the end of the deal, it's going to ask you if you lost it or won. I'm going to say I won this deal, and you update it. And also updates your salesperson activity that they close the deal, and all information attached to it, including like added information to the commissions that they earn certain amount of commissions from closing a particular deal. Now the next one is contacts. Most people say that like Tapdesk revolves around contacts, and that's very true because all your customers are part of your contacts. Like everybody you're going to interact with here is a contact in Tapdesk. So from your search, you can always like import contacts into Tapdesk, or you can also go ahead and import them yourself. We also allow you to export all your contacts, or you can also add them like one after the other by like clicking here. Typically, everyone imports their contacts. You just have to create a CSV file. If you're moving from a different CRM, you can just export your contacts in a CSV file and just import them straight into Tapdesk. Obviously, it's very organized as usual. We have contact groups and accounts. Accounts are mainly like businesses why contacts are mainly like individuals. All the information about your contacts goes in here, including all your interactions with those contacts. So interactions include like creating the contacts, sending an email to the contacts, changes to the contact information, if you add them to a campaign, if they respond to a campaign, if they click or open a campaign, you can actually see like how many times they opened the campaign, how many times they opened an email, how many times they like click a link in an email. You can see all that information as part of interaction. And those interactions is what actually like the machine learning models in our platform actually use to see like people who are like more interactive with your platform, and then use that information to like when you go to like do a search, it kind of suggests people that like look alike the people you interact well with or respond well to you. So even if you're looking for like VP of marketing and you're like, if you started off like with like a whole bunch of VPs of marketing, and like the VPs of marketing in like maybe like financial industries respond well to you than people in health industry. When you do a search in Tapdesk for like the same, Tapdesk is able to like know that like people in like finance respond well to you than people in health. So it's going to like rank people in finance higher than people in health. And you see those people in finance first. So it's all like it kind of like looks at what you're doing and it's able to like understand and like learn from you what is happening in your workspace and use that to like retune itself. So that's so when you hear people say like Tapdesk actually like got better a month after I started using it, it's actually because the platform has now learned who you are and built a persona around you and it's able to like do suggestions and like like um have like more relevant results for you.
So Tapdesk actually would suggest us like if that there is a much higher potential lead.
Yes. So there's something that calls like high priority. Once you start working, once you start using stuff that's like maybe like a month down to 2 months, there's something that calls high priority. At that point, it has learned how you use or the kind of people you talk to. So when it pulls a result and it sees people who are similar to people who you closed deals with before, or who are very like responsive and interactive with your campaigns and your reach outs and everything, it's able to like say, oh, this is a high priority because they're very similar to like a profile that like responds very well to you. So those high priority ones are the ones that actually like it kind of like says like, oh, I think this is people who are very good for you based on these results.
Yeah, that's
Your
yeah.
question? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, because it helps us to, you know, prioritize better, right?
Yep.
Let's say if we got a couple of leads on hand, then who do we want to go first, right? The one that gonna pay us a little bit more money, for sure.
True.
Yeah.
So, and of course, you can add notes. You can send emails to the customer, and also a whole bunch of options of things you can do, including creating tasks, adding them to pipelines, just quick actions you can do over here. Contact groups allows you to like segment your contacts into different groups, and then you can market to them. So if you have people who are like in a whole different kind of group, let's say like marketing group or like promo group or something like that. You can even divide people based on like regions. Just quickly create a group, and this comes handy when you go to campaigns or go to like calendar to do like group invites and all that, because you can actually just like put in a group and it sends all the invites to them, or put in a group and it sends all the campaigns to those group of people. So it's one way you can like like target like your messaging and your outreach to people. It's a very simple concept. Just mainly like segmenting your contacts into different groups. And accounts is pretty much people in your excuse me, pretty much your businesses. It gives you like a full overview of like businesses you're working with. You can like click on them and like see information about them, see all the deals you have with them, all the people in that place, all the interactions you have with that particular business, and all the deals you have with them. Here. So you can see all the deals, you can see all the people in that place, you can see all the interactions with them, in the particular company. So it just gives like an overview, and you can also quickly add a contact to that company from here. You can also add a deal to that company from here very quickly. You can also have like a whole different view of like the interaction with people, like a full interaction with people in that company over from here. So where this comes in contact is like people who like do account first or people first kind of sales. We actually have a way in our settings where you can like set to see account first when you come into Tapdesk contacts, or you can set to see all contacts first. So if you're an account first person, if you're coming from Hotspot, which does account first, that will make more sense to you. So you can go ahead and go to the settings in app settings for contacts and switch your first view to be accounts. And from accounts, you don't actually need to like go elsewhere. You can just quickly like do everything from your accounts, even see the people in the accounts, send them messages, send them add notes to them, see all the interactions without having to leave accounts view. So you can actually like just work with contacts on just accounts view, or work from contact using the all contacts view. That appears across to different people if you're coming from like a different CRM that does account based sales first or contact based sales first. So whichever is what you like. We allow for full customizability of the platform to fit your needs. We're not actually trying to break your flow. If you have done something similar in the past, we actually try to like make it easy for you to transition to Tapdesk. Now the next part is campaigns, and that's where like your outreach begins to come into play. Campaigns actually have like a whole bunch of features, and typically people who switch to Tapdesk always drop every other campaign that they use, including active campaign, constant contacts, sending blue, and the rest of them. They typically just like drop it and switch to our campaigns. You're gonna see like in the campaign overview, there's a performance graph where you're able to. I don't have any open campaigns or actively running campaigns, which I don't see any data here, but typically when you're running campaigns, you're going to see all this data. So you're going to see how your how your campaigns are performing across the board, the deliveries, the opens, the clicks, open rate, and click rate of your account over here. You're also going to see quick activities, like if people open your emails, your campaigns, they're going to see it here. You're going to click here and see those people actually open it. And so just like recent campaigns and recent templates I've created. Now, all campaigns is where you see all your campaigns, and you can actually go ahead and create a quick one, clicking the new campaign to create a new campaign. We offer two kinds of campaign: native email campaign and template campaign. So typically the native email campaign is going to use your native email integration like Gmail or Outlook. So imagine if you want to send an email from your normal inbox, we want it to come from your inbox, but you want to send it to like 5,000 people. Now, if you do it from Gmail directly, that's just a whole copy and paste 5,000 times. What you can do is come on Tapdesk and run a native campaign. You've already integrated Gmail in here. You come in here, create a new quick native campaign, and just send it out to 5,000 people, and it goes out on its own. It does it on its own using your native email. So when you go to send box, you're going to see those emails there. Of course. Now, the template email campaign uses our own email servers. After you set up and you set up your DNS records or verify your email, you're going to be able to use our own servers to send out campaigns. Now, these campaigns are typically like well suited for like marketing emails or feature updates or promotional campaigns, where you have to kind of like design a HTML template for those purposes. Now, when I say designs begin to sound like, oh, this is a bit complicated, it's actually not, because first of all, we provide you with a whole bunch of templates for you to get started. And if you look over here, you have a whole bunch of templates. This is one of the emails we sent out for Tapdesk. And we have a very pretty easy email editor, and you can always click here to go to full screen. That allows you to remove all the distractions on the page and just zone in on like, creating a great campaign that people are going to respond to. And it's pretty easy. And we have a whole bunch of like tools out here. different blocks you can add, including buttons and even menus and social buttons. A whole bunch of like blocks you can like add into the campaign to actually create a very awesome campaign. We also have a way for you to see how it will look in mobile view. So if you click over here, you're going to see how the campaign will look in mobile view. And you're also going to see how it will look in like desktop view. So once you're done creating, but it's a template, you can always like go ahead and do that for like your normal campaign. So if you create any just do a quick one, just open one that's been created. So let's take a look at this one that like we used here. You can see the campaigns that was sent here when you click on the detail view. But one very important thing is like this performance graph actually has like the performance graph of that particular campaign. The one in your overview page shows all your campaign in your account, how they're performing in general. That gives like a quick overview of everything in your account. But when you open a particular campaign, you're going to see the particular performance graph of that campaign. So that helps us spot a campaign that's not doing well, even though like Tapdesk tends to like tell you what campaigns are not doing well and what we call exceptions. So when you click an exception, it tells you like issues with your campaign, things you can do to your campaign to make it actually better. It doesn't mitigate and fix issues. So it intelligently could like spot things going on in your campaign and tell you to fix it while it's still running the campaign. But one other great thing about Tapdesk is the metrics of Tapdesk. First of all, you're able to see like how many got delivered, the unique opens, the unique clicks, the bounce rate, the unsubscribe rate, and people who complain. Complaints are mostly like people who mark your email as spam and all that. You always want to keep those at very low because it affects your sending rate if people are complaining way too much about you. Also your unsubscribe rate as well, and also your bounce rate. But another important metrics is like the opens and click rates. And we actually take it a little bit further because when you click this, you're actually going to see the exact people who opened a particular campaign and you can see the exact people who clicked a campaign. So this one doesn't have a clicker in it, so it won't show any of the information which is showing the error. But when someone clicks your campaign, it's going to show you people who clicked it. And clicking actually goes even way further because you can see the list of people who clicked your campaign and what exactly that they clicked. So this view list of links and clickers is able to like see all the links in your campaign and it's going to show you who exactly clicked a particular link. And this is very important if you're running a very important use case is like we have a company on our platform that sells masks and they run a campaign with like 4 different masks like new arrival. And they were thinking like the very first 2 are gonna be the best seller, but when they looked at like people who clicked a particular link, they saw like all the clicks were coming from the 4th mask, which they didn't even think people liked. So what they did was on Tapdesk, they retargeted those audience that clicked that particular link and sent them an email, a full email about that mask, how it was made, what material was used to make it, like just a whole full sales email about that mask, and the sales on that mask just skyrocketed. And that's one way that Tapdesk actually like uses different information to actually like help you as a user to actually like do better at your work. So when you're creating a campaign over here, there are many ways you can actually like add people to that campaign. First, you can add a list, which allows you to like use the contact groups we discussed earlier or showed you earlier to select those people in that contact group and like send the campaign to them. Another way is retargeting audience, which is what those people use. What this allows you to do is like on your active campaigns, you can choose people who had a particular interaction with a particular campaign and send a follow-up campaign to them. So you can find people who open a particular campaign or who clicked a link in a campaign or who replied to a campaign or people who click a specific links in a campaign and then select the campaign that you want and then select that particular link and then click retarget. What this does is it actually goes out there and it goes into the data that we have from your interactions. And for every person who clicked that particular link you're looking for, it's going to retarget them and send that message to them. And that's exactly what the company that I use as an example in the previous statement did. So they saw who were like clicking a particular link that they didn't expect, and they doubled down by retargeting those people and sending a even more detailed marketing email about a particular mask to them. So another way is external links. So what this does is to make sure like the people who come into Tapdesk are people who actually love what you're doing. So imagine you get a list from your manager, or you get a list from an external data company that gives you information, and you want to market to them. Now, most people in that list that you just got isn't really people who are going to actually want to do business with you. So, and you don't want to have all this people in your workspace. It just takes space, and you want people who actually are responding to you, who actually would respond to you. So, what you're going to do is actually like use external lists. What this allows you to do is like you're going to add that list, and then you create what we call a qualifying factor. Unlike every other campaign method that we've shown you for adding audience, they all require this audience to be in Tapdesk. This does not require the audience to be in Tapdesk. You don't have to add them as a contact. You don't have to have any interaction with them prior. You just bring a new fresh list and you put it in here. It could be people who are already in your workspace. It doesn't matter. You just a random list that you have. You put it in here, and then qualifying factor just says this is what this person has to do for them to get into my workspace. So if I send out this email to these random people, I want when they open it, or when they click a link in it, or when they reply, within a particular number of days, add them to contact or contact group or pipelines. So you are just telling Tabdesk what to do when those people in that list do something. So if they open a link, if they open the campaign within this amount of days, add them to my contacts. I want to speak with these people. If they click a link in this campaign within maybe like 15 days, add them to a contact group. I want to speak to them. Or if they reply to it within maybe like 10 days, add them to a particular pipeline. If they reply to the campaign within maybe 10 days, add them to a particular pipeline and just select the pipeline they want. And what that does is like when they perform any of those actions, I can go ahead, Tableau is going to go ahead and put them in the pipeline and notify you and tell you like, this person replied, this is the reply that they gave you, I've added it to the pipeline, you can pick up the sales process. So that's pretty much how campaigns work across the board. A whole lot of data, a whole lot of email campaigns to get you started, and a bunch
I
of
have one question as well.
yep.
Because previously when I tested it out, right, to connect my emails with
Mhm,
Tapdesk, uh, it requires quite a few steps, right? I got to set up quite a few. I got to change my DNS settings
mhm.
to connect with the Tapdesk campaigns features. So is there a reason why it is being set up this way?
Yeah, so you actually can skip the whole domain thing and skip the whole domain setup and just go ahead and like verify your email as I'm sending an email. But the difference is the deliverability. We always want people to have high as much deliverables in terms of their campaigns as possible. If we can achieve 100% going into the inbox, we would definitely go for that. And setting up those domain information is very important because what it allows us to do is to actually like sign every single email that you send from Tapdesk as originating from you. If we don't sign it, most email clients would think it's a spoofing or a spam and throw it in spam in most cases. And that's why like when you send out like one of those quick campaigns from SendGrid and the rest of them, it either goes into maybe like if it doesn't go into spam, it ends up in like promotion or in updates. If this will have like those categories, or if it's in Outlook, it ends up in other, which they're not going to pay attention to. So to make sure like your emails don't end up like similar way, once you set up a DNS record, what Tapdesk does is before it sends email to people, it actually signs the email. Uh, it sends the email with your DNS record. So like when Google, Gmail, or Outlook gets the email, it's able to verify the email as authentic and not throw it in junk or throw it in updates or promotions and throw it to the inbox.
I see. But why don't other other sort of cold email tools do that?
They do all have those settings. It's just that they don't force you to do it. We don't force you either. We just put it in front of you because we believe like for small businesses, this is very important to you. Corporates that use those kind of tools like Active Campaign and the rest of them, if they send out like hundred thousands of emails every single day, and they're okay with like 10% deliverability. If you're a small business and you send out 100 emails per day and only 10 went into actual inbox, that's very poor. Because we're mostly like a small and medium-sized business. So we can like put it in front of you and ask you to set it up. We don't force you to set it up. You can always skip it at any time. But before you use campaign, we actually like put it in front of you to set it up so like you can get it out of the way and start having that like high level of deliverability in your platform. Does that answer your question? Henry, you still there? I don't know if that answered your question.
Yep, sorry, my bad. I forgot to unmute myself. So I think that was I thought that was the reason behind it as well, so that we can increase our email deliverability. Yeah,
Yep.
but of course, it does takes quite a few steps to set up your DNS.
Yeah, and of course, if people need help setting up DNS, we're always available on support to like actually like guide you step by step on how to do that. You just have to like go and do a quick chat to support team, and they will guide you through it. Or you can always set it up later. You can always skip it now, and maybe if you don't need to use it right now, you can just skip it, and then maybe like send your first emails and try things out, and then maybe like set it up later. You can always do that, of course.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not a downside or anything. It's more like Ogbonnaya and the Tapdesk team. They just want to, put it out there so that
Yep.
we can increase our email deliverability to hit the inbox, right, and not the promotion or the spam box, so that our open rates are higher. Higher open rates, we get more clicks as well.
Exactly. And that's the kind of like difference between us and like big corporate enterprise level companies, because like we actually understand what small businesses needs, and we cater to that and design our platform to fit the needs of like small medium sized businesses.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So the next thing up here is a calendar, which is that allows you to like integrate across the platform. You can add Zoom to it. You can add Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar. What Tableau Calendar does very well is it's able to actually sync everything across the board. So we have a way, like we designed Tableau Calendar to be like the calendar that rules all your calendars. So it doesn't matter if you have like 3 Outlook calendars, 2 Google calendars. All you need to do is sync them to Tapdesk, and Tapdesk sits in the middle of all of them and communicates across the board. And it's like the one hub that controls all your calendars and all your events. So once you have want to have Tapdesk calendar set up and connect every other calendar that you want to connect to it, you don't have to look elsewhere for like your events. You can just like sit and manage every single one of them on Tapdesk. Now the calendar is as simple as every other calendar, just with some extra zest because it's Tapdesk calendar, of course. We have 4 views over here. The month view, of course, the week view, that has like the week plan, and the day view that has like a single day view, and the agenda view that actually like shows you what's coming up within this week, or like everything that's going on this week. So to add an event is very simple. You just need to like click a box over here and it pulls up what you need to create an event. You can create a public event or a private event. All events are private by default. Once you click this link, it becomes public. From the month view, it's going to like check the all-day event. But you can always uncheck that and it has like a certain end time. You just need to put in the event title, the event description. We have different categories over here that you can pick from. The show us actually like helps people on your team to actually know what's going on with you. Like if you're busy, do not disturb. And this actually like syncs with your status. If you have Slack connected, it syncs with your status on Slack and it's able to like update your status based on this. If you have do not disturb, it updates your Slack status as do not disturb and so on. We have out of office, working remotely, and all that. You can also add a location, and if you have Zoom, you can go. If you have Zoom integrated, you can just click on Zoom and it changes the location of the meeting to Zoom, or in this case, you can click on Google Meet and it changes to Google Meet. You can choose if you want the event repeated, and you can choose how long you want it to be repeated for. If you want to repeat it until like next year, January, you can just select that. The event alert time, you can just choose maybe like 15 minutes before at time of event, hours before, days before the event. I'm like to do like 15 minutes before the event. And this will send you a notification both in Tapdesk and in your email. And of course, you can add as many invites as possible. You can also add your team as an invitee. So just adding every single person on your team one after the other. You can just like type in the team name and invite everyone in the team. And if you have a contact group, you can actually invite everyone in the contact group to the event by just like putting in the contact group. Tablets is also very, very like, smart to like understand that like an event is a group event or a one-on-one event, and it's able to convert between the two. So if you had a one-on-one event and all of a sudden you add someone into it, it converts into a group event. So it's able to like do that automatically without you having to like do that yourself. And again, from the week view, you can always like add something, an event by just clicking and dragging over here. And then that will select those times for you to add an event. Pretty easy, pretty simple. Something with the day view as well. So that's pretty much it about like adding events, but it's a lot with events. And of course, for every event that you have, you can always click to like see quick actions for them, cancel them, reschedule the events, view the event details, the invitees, message the event invitees, or copy the event link. Now, for event links, if it's a public event, you're going to see that event in a public space. And if it's a public event that people can join, in this case, a group public event, it will allow people to like actually like join the event. So if you're planning a webinar and want people to like join the webinar and all that, you can actually create a webinar event that's a public event and send out the link to people, and they can just click on the link and then put in the information and join. And as people are joining, you can now begin to like manage the event from your event timeline. So all your events are going to show up here in a timeline fashion. And what this allows you to do is like actually like see what's going on with the event and all that. And you can also like add a note to the event and choose to notify the invitees of those notes that you add. You can also send a message to invite to all invitees, or you can just send to those who accepted the invite or those who said maybe to the invite who declined. So you can actually select a set of people who you want to like target the message to based on their response to the campaign, to the event invitation. And you can also quickly add people from here. You can reschedule from here and can also cancel it from here. Now, you're going to see our interaction with this event. Like when someone sends you a message from the event page, it's going to pop up here and you can just click reply and reply to that person. Let me see if I have something like this. I'm just going to show all the events. When people accept a particular invite, is going to show you here. When Tapdesk sends any invitations or any messages to people or any reminders. You're going to see all that. And if people try to reschedule the event, when someone like proposes a new time to the event, that proposal is going to show up here and can choose to like accept or decline the proposal. So there's a whole bunch of like events that show up here that you just gives you like a one place for you to manage every single thing about the event you've created. And this comes very much into play when you're like organizing a big event, like a webinar, for instance, or a group demo or something like that. Huge event like that, event timelines is like literally like the go-to to like manage those big events, including sending the notifications to the invitees. And you can only one group is like you can actually like choose how to notify people for like messages. You can just like only send this message to those who are coming to the event and not those who said no to the event. And that's like a pretty good way to actually like create an outreach around a particular event. Now, it's very important like for people to book appointment at convenience with them. Typically, when you do this, you have like send a whole bunch of email and be like, "Hey, does 4 p.m. work for you?" And they're going to say no, or maybe like 5 p.m. tomorrow. But then you're busy, so you reply and be like, "Oh, how about we do next week?" And it's just like a whole back and forth emails that don't work. What we have here in Tablet is what we call event slots, and what this allows you to do is create this like very quick slots that people can like actually use to book time with you. So an example of slot is one that I have here where people used to book Tapdesk demo. It's pretty simple. You put in a title for it and it generates automatically the URL. Of course, you can change this. You can just call it like TD, make it simple, but it just generates it automatically, but you can change that. And then you can choose the location. So when someone books an appointment with you, is going to like create that particular Google Meet event or Zoom event and send them the link. You can set the duration of that particular event and then the description of the event. You can choose if it's a group event. When it's a group event, when one person books it, because you get to put the minimum and the maximum capacity. So one person books it, it doesn't close out the slot. It leaves it open until like the capacity is filled. Once the capacity is full, that's when it like closes out the event. However, if it's not filled up, then people can keep on like booking that particular slot for that particular group event. We do have advanced slot settings. Most times you don't need to touch that, but in most cases you would. For instance, if you want this event to be available only on like weekdays, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday through Friday, you can just black out Saturday and Sunday. Just make sure like this event isn't available in those days. And you can also, typically it will use like the time that you have, because when you're setting up your calendar, you're gonna set up like business hours. It would typically use the business hours over here, but you can change those as well. There are a whole bunch of other settings down here. If you want before and after time buffer, visibility of the event, when it should start, when it should end, and other information, including picking the event slot color, which is pretty cool. And you can always like recycle to find a different color, something that matches your vibe, and go for it. Typically, what this looks like is when you share the link for this, it's going to look like this for your customers. So they're going to see a page that looks like this that describes the event. They can go ahead and choose a date they would like. And once they do, they're gonna see like a bunch of different times over here, and they can also change the time zone. Typically, when they come to this page, Tapdesk will automatically change to the time zone and actually put the time based on the time zone. So they're not gonna see your time zone. Let's say that in Arizona, for instance, so it changes the time to Arizona time. It will automatically do this, find the time zone and put in the right hour, put in the right time for them here. And once they pick that time, it's going to like ask them to put in the information, and then they can like confirm with you. And of course, it's going to create an event in your calendar very quickly. And you can also set an event timelines, and they can start communicating with you about that event from the timeline. And of course, Tapdesk sends them a confirmation as well, and as well as a reminder a few minutes before the event starts. Typically, you can also share your entire calendar. It's very simple. When you created Tapdesk, it created like a scheduler endpoint using your username. So my username is Ogbonnaya and we're together. So if someone went there, they will see all your events. So that's called your scheduler view. It says your Ogbonnaya calendar, and it shows all your event types here. The reason why it's very advisable to share a particular event slot link is because if people go to like your event, your scheduler view, and you have a whole bunch of events, then you're gonna see all those events. So it's always advised not to overwhelm your users, your customers. It's always important to share like the event slot link. But it also makes it easy because like they can actually like filter based on like different things as well. But the process is also like pretty similar where they click a particular slot that they want, a slot that they want, and then choose a date and go ahead and book an appointment with you. Now, in most cases, we have something called event slot category. One slot might not be enough. For instance, if you have Tapdesk demo, for instance, for like the duration of like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and you want the customer to choose how much they want the demo for, it will make sense for you to like show them all three, but not all your scheduler view, right? So what you do is like create an event slot category, and what that allows you to do is just create a category and click and select select the slots that you want to show up in that category. And then instead of sharing a particular link, you're going to share like a category link. And when they go there, they're going to see all the event slots in that category. So there's a whole bunch you can do with event slots, but it makes sure like book an appointment very easily between you and your customers. It's extremely seamless. And that's pretty much it about our calendars. And we also have like fresh new features coming to calendars next month, and very exciting features as well. These features down here is pretty much what we're working on that are in progress. Our flows features is in beta, and we plan to release it next month. We're working on product feature, invoicing, and like a whole bunch of analytics feature. Right now, our analytics is like app-based analytics. So you have like very quick analytics on like pipelines, a huge analytics in campaigns. What analytics is going to do is actually like combine everything in one space and add way more tracking and more metrics for you to like actually manage your space in your workspace and get a more better insight based on the data in your workspace. App Center is where our applications lives. This is where you can go to like integrate different applications. It's very smooth, it's very slick, very easy to use as well. But all our applications are going to live in here. Our native application and the settings are in native apps. We have categories allows you to see all the categories that we have. You can go to each category and like see the apps in those. And it's very easy to actually like go ahead and like integrate an app. Pretty much you're going to see an integrate button over here. You can just click the button and then integrate the app, follow the instructions to integrate the app. If you wanted to learn more about an application, you can always click the app homepage and it takes you to the applications homepage so you can learn more about them. And all the settings for your application is going to show up here, including like if you have a sync policy, you're going to see that. And similar apps to that particular app is also going to show up. And if you want to request an app, it's very simple. You can just click here and like request an app, tell us a bit about how you use it and how you plan to use it, and then click request and it sends it to tech teams actually start working on the app. Well, we won't start working on the app because we build apps based on like needs. So if you create a request on an app and a whole bunch of other people want the same app, then we'll go ahead and build those. But if it's an app that's only one person who's like requesting for it, and there are apps that like half of the workspaces request, half of our user base is requesting for, we always build based on like those needs. So like requesting an app doesn't necessarily mean that's gonna get built like the next week or so. It just goes into a queue of things that we plan to add to Tapdesk. But one important thing is like our development team always keeps in contact with people when you're requesting an application. they're always going to reach out to you and be like, okay, this is where are these applications on the list. It's going to be built probably by like 6 months later or something like that. And they'll always reach out to you and tell you progress on the app every now and then based on progress that we're making on the application. Admin tools pretty much let you do a whole bunch of work, including like managing your workspace, your billing, your company profile, creating a new team. In users, you can actually see all your users, add new users. And this is where you set things like commissions and like sales goals and targets for people in your workspace. You can also set sales commissions from over here. Um, See their roles in teams and change their roles in those teams, see their admin roles and privileges, and all the integrated apps. Um, in teams, you can actually create new teams, maybe like engineering team, and add like managers into them. And yep, that's pretty much about them. But teams actually allows you to like have more control across the workspace, so you can like if you want to like assign resources to a particular team without affecting another team. That's what that lets you do. And there's always like a point of contact for the particular team, like the manager, so that if you assign a particular like pipeline to a particular team, the manager can see everyone's work, but like every individual person is gonna see their own work across the board. So that allows managers to be able to have an oversight on their team and um, allows resources to be segregated across different teams. Again, our flows feature is coming next month and is going to like allow you to actually like build workflows across Tapdesk. So just an overview of this is like a case where you have like a trigger that actually like sends an email and then creates a delay at a task, then sends another follow-up email, creates a note as a different task, then after a certain period of time creates a delay, after like another delay, and then sends an email. So this allows you to like build drip campaigns, but goes farther from just drip campaigns. It lets you actually like build workflows around Tapdesk. So if you have any actions that you're working on that would take like pretty much like if like a specific workflow that you follow, like if someone is added to like a pipeline, you want to send them an email and then add a task to call them, then add a note to them, and then maybe like share the lead with your manager. You can add all those workflows and just build out the workflows on Tapdesk. And once you just perform that action of like adding someone to like a pipeline, what Tapdesk does is like it goes through the automation and does all those actions for you, so you don't have to do it yourself. And that's it's in a beta phase right now. So most of the customers in a beta program is actually like trying it out, and we've received so many great feedback about it, and it's very exciting so far. And we can't wait for you guys to all try it out.
Yep, I highly recommend everyone to try it out as well. Um, I I would say that really, if you want to be able to just sit at your desk and have leads delivered to you, right? I mean tap test is the answer, because the the leads are very updated, and you can just filter and you get a bunch of businesses that you can just call up or send them an email, and wait for them to reply, and then you can start to follow up with them and close your sales. I think Tapdesk, just like what Ogbonnaya says, is really a all-in-one solution for Tapdesk, right? I mean for a CRM system.
Yep.
Yep. Anyone has any questions to ask? Anyone has any questions to ask? I see some comments in here as well. I think this one was regarding your, the email feature where we got to set up the DNS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I think this this is, let me see, right? So S Hang says, very nice, right? So, yep. So Narikap says, all good, Henry. Right. Awesome. Right. So, anything else that you would like to share with us, Ogbonnaya?
Yeah, we're actually working on like doing a lot, bringing a lot of features to Tapdesk. This is kind of like the beginning so far. We are actually like working on a whole bunch of features. We've actually expanded our created like a search team on our team that actually focuses on like taking our search to like be one of the best search features across the board in terms of like providing leads to people. And we're working on like numerous features, including lead capture, where for you to actually like publish forms, to, like collect leads, to connect directly to Facebook ads or Google ads to actually like funnel your leads directly into Tapdesk. So we have a whole bunch of features coming down the line, and we can't wait for people to try them out.
Awesome, awesome. Then that would be even better because, um, I mean, we are not just trying to grab leads from your database,
Right.
but if we run our own marketing campaigns as well, those leads can flow into Tapdesk, and we can have them all in one, right?
Yeah.
So when would these features be live, by the way?
We do have a roadmap. It's a roadmap that Tapdesk.io we're still building out. But most of the features will be available this year towards December. We are launching Flows features and opening up our API at the end of September. Flows features coming out in next 2 weeks. Very excited for that. We are launching our API at the end of the month, and we're launching lead captures and like changes to our schedulers. All those are coming in November, December period.
Awesome. In fact, I've already went ahead and actually submitted Tapdesk as a um oh, sorry, it's not me but someone else as well. Juice KC, right? He actually sent, let me just send the link for the integration request for Tapdesk in here. Right. So there's already a open request. I voted for it as well. So probably you could reach out to the Pebble Connect
Yeah.
team, and we could have Tapdesk integrated with Pebble once the API is out.
Yep, we're actually talking to a whole bunch of teams out, including the teams at Persona, to bring Persona onto Tapdesk, App Center. So we're also reaching out to like other like entrepreneurs to actually like bring the tools and connect it to Tapdesk.
Awesome. Have you spoken to Nick's Weave as well? I think they will be very keen on an integration as well.
No, I haven't spoken with them. No.
Awesome. All right. So no problem, right? I think with all these integrations coming, you know, Tapdesk will be even stronger. I think at its core, Tapdesk is already very powerful.
Yeah.
At its core is already very powerful. But once we have some integration going on, then we could automate certain things, and as well as you know be able to build even more interesting use cases with
Yeah.
Tapdesk. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything else that you'd like to add before we end off the stream? It's been very insightful for us. In fact, I think that you shared quite a few things that I didn't even cover in my video, where
Mhm.
Tapdesk actually kind of tries to understand like how you work, and then being able to suggest you um like certain priorities. I think that's something that I missed out, in fact. Yeah. So it's a very um I think salespeople very friendly tool, right? I think Tapdesk
Yeah.
is it would be their best friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else that you like to add?
I just want to thank everyone on the stream. Thank you guys. You guys are the reason why we keep going forward. the support. Most people have reached out to our support team and left very kind words to the support team, and that just put a smile on everyone's faces. We actually share some like kind words on the team journal channel on Slack, so everyone can see. Some posts we shared your video, so everyone gets to see how people are appreciating the work of the team. So I just want to thank everyone. You guys are the reason why the team are always happy. You guys attending our webinars, sending kind words to our support team and everything. Thank you guys. You guys are the reason why Tapdesk is still here. I just want to shout out to everyone on the stream and all the users of Tapdesk, those who started back in 2019 when it looked like crap and stuck with us until today that it looks very excellent so far. Thanks to everyone.
Awesome, right? Thanks, Ogbonnaya. So, in fact, Ogbonnaya, we actually did a giveaway in the group itself. I think let me just take a look again. I will be closing the giveaway in a couple of hours. So those of
Okay.
you who are still on the stream and actually you know have not joined the giveaway, right? Be sure to join us. Let me just share the link for the giveaway. We are Ogbonnaya is actually giving away 4 licenses to uh, the community. In fact, and it's one tier 2 license and 3 tier 1 licenses, right? And I there's a lot of people already joined the giveaway, so be sure not to miss out. um as thanks Obanaya for doing this webinar with us as well as the giveaway. I think the community is loving you so far.
Thank you.
All right, so that's all I have, and I'll see all of you in the next episode of Decisive Learnings. Thanks, Obanaya. Bye bye.
A lot. Bye.